We keep things rolling on a busy edition of the Sports Cubicle and Sports from the Couch here on WCPT 820 AM, HeartlandSignal.com, WSBC 1240 AM, Chicago, and on YouTube at the Sports Cubicle. I'm your host, Mike Mercado, and there's some football news about the Chicago Bears that has nothing to do with the Las Vegas Raiders, has nothing to do with the NFC North, has nothing to do with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. This has to do with the McCaskies and an organization that has been asking for money from the taxpayers, who now is worth a whole heck of a lot more. And this comes to us from CNBC. Chicago Bears valued at nearly $9 billion in minority stake sale that sets an NFL record. This is from Michael Ozunian over at CNBC. And this is key points. The NFL Finance Committee approved the sale of 2.35% of the Chicago Bears to existing owners of the team in a deal that sets a league record and values the Bears at $8.9 billion, according to three people familiar with the matter. The deal closed several days ago, according to one of the people. The stake was held by estate of Andrew McKinnon, according to two people familiar with the deal. McKenna died in 2023. The Bears were valued at $6.4 billion just a year ago in CNBC's official NFL team valuations, number 10 among the league's 32 teams. The National Football League's Finance Committee approved the sale of 2.35 of the Chicago Bears to existing owners of the team in a deal that sets a league record and values the Bears at $8.9 billion, according to three people familiar with the deal, who asked not to be named because they were not authorized to speak publicly. And I want to jump down a little bit onto this article. 2/3 of the 2.3% sold will go to the McCaskey family, and 1/3 will go to the Ryan family, leaving the former with about 77% ownership and the latter with about 23%, the people said. And we go down a little bit further into the article. The Bears currently play at the obsolete Soldier Field, which was last renovated more than 20 years ago. The Chicago Park District gets some of the revenue from non-NFL events at the stadium. The team is exploring building a stadium in Arlington Heights, a suburb of Chicago. A fixed-roof dome stadium would give the Bears an opportunity to host non-NFL events year-round and get more non-NFL events revenue. And you can check out the entire article over at CNBC. They really get into the weeds in the sale, the percentages, the meanings of it. The Chicago Bears valued at nearly $9 billion in minority stake sale that sets an NFL record, sources. And it's just fascinating to me that this is a team that we were talking about them selling. We've been talking about the McCaskies maybe selling their team at some point. You know, this is a team that doesn't have money outside of the Chicago Bears. This is something that I have to keep reminding Bears fans, that you're not dealing with these new owners that have come into the league that have billions and billions and billions of dollars to afford to not only buy a new team, but to build a brand new stadium like a lot of them do. They don't have that. This is a team that is strictly got their money because they own the Chicago Bears. So we always thought with them having this private equity, these limited partners that were going to be able to buy into your team, buy into the NFL, that they were going to sell off a lot of stake in the team in order to get some of that money. And it's the total opposite. They own more of the Bears. And I think this is why they're having such a hard time optically. Because every time we talk about this team, when it's not on the field, it has to deal with the fact that despite themselves, they make money hand over fist, and they still come out looking like little beggars because they need taxpayer money. They need handouts. They need tax exemptions to build a stadium that's going to make them even more money. So we've always talked about how every day that it takes them to put shovels on the ground, the more time passes, the more expensive it's going to get to build a brand new stadium. And yet, despite the way they run, the way the team has been awful since the Hallis regime, and there's a clear difference from when, I think Mark Pottage brought this up, that you can pinpoint the moment where Mike Ditka gets fired, the last remnants of the Hallis era. It has been a horrible franchise for the most part, right? Other than little sporadic times, they've been great. And this is the Charter franchise that constantly looks like buffoons. I love this team, right? Everybody does. But when you see stories like this, reports like this, how much money they're going to be worth, and they're dragging their feet on $300 million, it really goes to show, though, why some of these people are billionaires, right? How we look at things compared to how they look at things. But let us know your thoughts. The Chicago Bears valued at nearly $9 billion. I'm your host, Mike Mercado, here on WCPT 820 AM, heartlandsignal.com, WSBC 1240 AM, and on YouTube at The Sports Cubicle.